We live in the age of information, yet never have people been so blind. With every scroll, every click, and every opinion we absorb, something quietly dies inside us. The ability to think for ourselves. Critical thinking, once the mark of wisdom, is being replaced by emotional reaction, tribal loyalty, and algorithmic obedience. We no longer analyze truth, we outsource it to whatever speaks the loudest. Carl Jung once said, "Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge." And today, judgment is easier than ever. The internet rewards outrage, not insight. People don't seek understanding. They seek validation. Every debate becomes a performance. Every idea becomes a weapon. But this didn't happen overnight. Our schools taught us what to think, not how to think. Our culture celebrates feelings over facts. Our media profits from division, not clarity. And slowly, generation by generation, critical thought has been traded for comfort, for conformity, for noise. Thinking deeply is now seen as suspicious, even dangerous. The person who questions is labeled a skeptic. The one who doubts is called a cynic. And the one who refuses to conform, dangerous. This isn't just ignorance, it's engineered stupidity. A world where the thinking man is mocked, and the loudest fool becomes a leader. Critical thinking didn't disappear by accident. It was stolen. Corporations, governments, and media empires learned that a distracted, emotionally reactive population is easier to control. When people are busy fighting each other, they don't question power. When their attention is fractured, truth becomes irrelevant. Every social platform is designed to hijack your psychology, feeding you certainty instead of curiosity, outrage instead of understanding. It's the perfect trap, the illusion of awareness without actual thought. Noam Chomsky warned that modern propaganda doesn't hide information. It floods you with so much of it that you stop discerning altogether. The result? People mistake information for wisdom and opinion for truth. We consume endlessly but rarely reflect. The tragedy is that deep thinking used to be our superpower. It's what built civilizations, sparked revolutions, and birthed philosophy itself. But today the world punishes silence and rewards noise, and so the thinkers fall silent while the loud inherit the earth. So, how do we fight back? How do we reclaim our minds in a world built to distract them? It starts with awareness, with slowing down, with remembering that real thinking isn't reaction, it's reflection. The greatest thinkers in history, from Socrates to Jung, all practiced one thing: solitude, the willingness to face the chaos of one's own thoughts without flinching. Critical thinking requires courage, the courage to stand apart, to question everything, even yourself. It means resisting the easy answers and enduring the discomfort of uncertainty, because that's where truth lives. Not in certainty, but in curiosity. If you want to awaken your mind, start here. Unplug daily. Question your emotions. Read those you disagree with. And most importantly, think longer than the world expects you to. The future belongs not to those who shout the loudest, but to those who dare to think deeply. Because in an age where everyone speaks, silence, reflection, and reason are the last acts of rebellion. Critical thinking is more than a skill. It's an act of rebellion. It's what happens when a human mind refuses to become machinery. When in a world screaming for obedience, one person quietly says, "Will think for myself." But independence of thought doesn't come from intelligence alone. It comes from psychological strength, from the courage to face loneliness, to bear uncertainty, and to stand apart from the crowd. Because every independent thinker eventually discovers the same truth. Clarity costs connection. When you stop agreeing just to belong, you start to walk alone. Carl Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are instead of who the world wants you to be. Most people never reach it. They're terrified of what they might find when they look within their contradictions, their shadow, their own hypocrisy. So they avoid it. They choose comfort over consciousness, and that is how the collective becomes blind, not through force, but through fear. Independent thought demands solitude, not loneliness, solitude. The ability to sit with your own chaos until it becomes order. It means reading not to agree, but to challenge yourself. It means asking questions that may never be answered, and it means realizing that truth is rarely where everyone is pointing. But here's the paradox. When you think independently, you don't isolate yourself from humanity, you reconnect to it on a deeper level. Because to understand yourself is to understand others. The person who has wrestled with their own biases, illusions, and darkness develops empathy, depth, and vision. They become the rare few who can see through noise not because they are smarter, but because they are silent enough to listen. Independent thinkers shape the world quietly. They are the ones who create art that moves civilizations, ideas that outlive empires, and questions that rewrite history. They are the philosophers, the inventors, the poets, the rebels, and the healers, and every single one of them began with a simple act refusing to let others think for them. So the next time the world demands a reaction, pause. When they tell you what to believe, ask why. When everyone shouts, choose silence, because silence is the space where your real mind speaks. The death of critical thinking can only continue if we agree to stop thinking. But if even a few choose to awaken, to question, to observe, to reflect, the tide begins to turn. Because one awakened mind can illuminate thousands, and maybe that's the point in the end. True power doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from mastering yourself.